Really like Pontier as we go through the rest of this season, I've no doubt about that. Little break. Okay, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's going well. Hey Bert, how you doing? Good, glad to hear it. No breaks. Okay, good. It's a good race, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be great. Michael versus Paul. Good stuff.
And don't forget Al.
Yeah, and Al in there as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
Good point.
Okay. Are they being given the one? I think we're going to go back green, guys, at the end of this. Okay. Lap number 189 we're on now as Paul Tracy leads the field around behind the pace car. It looks as though we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again as the battle between Paul Tracy, Michael Andretti and Alonso Jr. will be rejoined. They've got Gilles de Ferran behind them as well. Tracy just weaves around a little bit to get a bit of heat into the tyres. He will control the pace of the restart. He hits the throttle. All 800 brake horsepower goes down to the road and out of turn 3 he comes onto the green flag. Tracy leads from Andretti, but what now can Michael do about getting past the Penske and taking over the lead of this race? Part with a cut tyre, he had to make an early pit stop, but the Swift chassis has just been superb here this afternoon. So again has the Penske, and it's now a battle between two of the top teams in the championship. The Penske team and the Newman-Haas team. It's going to be a battle to the wire.
Well, look how much they pulled away from Alonso Jr. on that lap, a second and a half on that one lap. That's very interesting indeed. These two are very, very closely matched, and Andretti, I think he'll be biding his time. He'll try and stay close to the Penske. Every time the Penske's gone out, it's been quick right off the box. As soon as the green light shows, Paul is on the gas right away. He can run a very, very fast pace instantly. But when he comes up to the traffic, that's when it seems to even out a little bit, and that's when Michael Andretti's extra experience could begin to tell in his final 45 or so laps.
Oh, Tracy certainly, yeah, that's all right. 35 laps to go, but certainly very, very on the limit there, Tracy, but you can see he's just managed to open up that advantage a little bit as he was. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. Big accident. Richie Hearn, Parker Johnston. Oh, another car spinning in avoidance. Roberto Moreno has spun in avoidance at the back of that, but there's Roberto. He simply spun to avoid the wrecked cars as they came out of turn 3, but the other cars of Richie Hearn and Parker Johnstone much more heavily involved. It's Parker Johnston's car on the left is the white and green car, and down on the inside he's come down onto the pit lane entrance is the car of Richie Hearn. That's the red and white car. So that really throws a spanner in the works. It means that we'll have to have another restart. This is going to be a long yellow flag, I would imagine, because we've got 33 laps to go. Remember, each of the laps will count as they go round behind the pace car. Every lap will still count towards the race distance, and they'll go nice and slowly now because they don't really want to come back round to that area until they have to. Roberto Moreno should be able to be push-started once again. He'll be gotten out of the way fairly quickly. I don't think he actually hit anything, but it's the other car of Parker Johnston and Richie Hearn that will cause the problems.
Give me a push, says Roberto there, and here we see the incident there. Ooh, Parker Johnston climbing up the wall there. Boy, that's a nasty looking. It's a great shame. Those two are both doing a good job. Richie Hearn, there's a couple of people squeezing through. Greg Moore, was that Raoul Boisel, I think, on the grass, missing those two, or Scott Prix, one of the two.
Let's take another view. Let's see. Parker Johnston and Richie Hearn we're looking for. They spun, well, in fact, Parker spun it first, didn't he? Parker had lost it. Richie had absolutely nowhere to go but to hit the car. And Parker did a sort of wall of death act round the outside on the concrete wall. And how everyone else managed to miss them was absolutely amazing. We got a written interview with Richie.
Got together and I was just an innocent victim. You know, Parker should have let everybody go by him some time ago because I think he was a lap down. And
Sometimes that happens, guys. He's on his way to the Kart Medical Center for the mandatory check.
Let's take another look at that incident again from a different angle, from the angle we were just looking at just now. Again, you watch the white and green car losing it, bang, in comes Richie Hearn. He was on the brakes, but it was just nothing he could do. And what a brilliant job the other guys behind them did. Roberto locked up and spun, but apart from that, let's see it from Roberto's car. In fact, he was battling up there with one of the Brahma cars, and then suddenly it all happens ahead of him on the brakes, slowing down, locks up, gets on the grass, got his hands in a bit of a mess, and that's the reason that he spun it in the end. But well, there wasn't an awful lot he could do about that.
No, indeed.
So with Parker Johnston's car sitting there smoking away, still some way to go in this race. To clear up the mess after Parker Johnston and Richie Hearn's shunt, it certainly did look as though there may have been a little bit of contact between Raoul Boesel and Parker Johnston in that accident, but thankfully they've got it pretty much cleared up now. Yeah,
Raoul Boesel diving down the inside going into turn 3. Didn't really look like he was quite alongside him, did he? Parker Johnston shut the door. Contact at that stage inevitable, unfortunately, and just a phenomenal save, wasn't it, from Raoul Boesel? I think we're getting ready for the restart here. The track is all cleared up finally,
yes,
and we'll have a 19-lap dash to the finish.
It's a fascinating battle. Yeah, we've got 19 laps of racing under green. Hopefully, if there's not another yellow flag, let's hope there's not another yellow, because we'd love to see the battle go right down to the wire. The reports from the radios of the various teams are that Paul Tracy's happy with his car in clean air when he's not having to deal with other traffic. Michael is much happier with his car in traffic. It's not so good in clean air. We'll soon find out who's got the best car, because they're coming round to get this race underway. 19 laps to go here at Nazareth, and Andretti's right on Tracy's tail as they get under racing conditions again. Alonso Jr. in third place, but just watch this battle for the lead now.
Fabulous stuff here. Michael Andretti, there he is changing up into the next gear, 6th gear, probably going down the back straightaway, all over the back of Paul Tracy. Tracy very good through turn 3, gets a good run, able to put on a little bit of breathing space. That's what he needs at this stage in the game.
This is a real pressure situation now for both of these drivers. Paul Tracy leading the race, looking for the first Penske win for a long, long time. No race victories during the 1996 season at all. Michael Andretti, on the other hand, would love to take victory in his hometown race, and also because he lies third in the championship and he wants to try and get into the championship lead and escape the clutches of the likes of Scott Pruitt and Alex Zanardi, who are not going to score well here today. 10th place for Pruitt at the moment, 11th place for Alex Zanardi. Andretti has a great opportunity here to win this race and get some more points, but Paul Tracy is going to do everything in his power to keep the Swift chassis behind him. We've got just 16 laps to go now of the 1 mile oval. They're lapping it around 20 seconds, so it's only about 5 minutes worth of racing. Can Paul Tracy hold on to this lead? Is Michael Andretti going to dive through in the last few stages? And are they going to get into any traffic before the end of the race?
Very little steering wheel movement there, isn't there, from Michael Andretti? That car is handling absolutely perfectly. 20.1, that lap for both these two. Michael Andretti so smooth there on the wheel. When they come up to the traffic, that's going to tell the tale, I think, between these two drivers, with now just 15 laps to go.
Paul Tracy looking for his first win with Penske since he came back from Newman Haas. Of course, he was teammate to Michael Andretti just a couple of years ago in the 1995 season. Took a couple of wins that year, but that was his last victory. The Michigan race in 1995 was the last win for Paul Tracy. He desperately wants to take the maximum points here today. Back with Penske into the 2nd year, and can he keep his former teammate behind him in the remaining 13 laps to go? Third place is still Alonso Jr., but he's some 3.9 seconds behind this battle as Andretti gets closer still as they come up towards turn 3.
Yeah, it's not an easy place to pass this, as Michael Andretti is finding out. He's passed a lot of cars around here in the past few years. Can he get past Paul Tracy? It's going to be awfully difficult. He knows his car is just handling absolutely like a dream, but so is Paul Tracy's. They're matching lap times, 20.4 last time around. Absolutely nothing between them.
Fantastic.